Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine. So let's start with yet another chapter, which is pie charts. So what are pie charts exactly? Pie charts are specific type of data presentation where the data is presented in form of a circle. In a pie chart, a circle is divided into various sections or segments such that each sector or segment represents a certain proportion of percentage of the total. Now, in such a diagram, the total of all the given items is equated to what? 360 degrees, and the degree of angle representing different items are calculated proportionally. Now, the entire diagram looks like a pie and its components resemble slices cut from a pie. The pie chart is used to show the breakup of one continuous variable into its component parts. Now this is exactly what a pie chart is. Alright, it's going to be in form of a circle and then there are going to be various segments. And these segments are divided proportionally. These segments are particularly divided proportionally. Like for example, in this given figure, you can basically see the distribution of sales of the car industry between 6 car companies. Alright. Now looking at the figure, we can infer that Maruti has what? It has 24% of the market share. So if I talk about the sales between 6 large companies and this pie chart representing that, then I can say that Maruti has 24% of the market share. Correct. I can also say that GM accounts for 35% of the market share. So here it is GM and it accounts for what? 35% of the total market share. Then Ford represents 4% of the market share. Tata represents 10% of the market share. And similarly, I can say that Hyundai represents 15% of the market share. So this is how pie chart works. Alright, this is how pie chart is going to work. The pie chart encompasses a circle of 360 degrees which represents what? 100% of the value of the continuous variable. Correct. Now tell me one thing. This is one of the most simplest thing and you need to tell it to me. Alright. So 360 degree represents what? 100% of a thing. Correct. 100% of a thing. Or I can also write like this that let me change the color. That okay, 100% of a variable I have and it is represented by 360 degrees. Then 1% of that variable is going to be represented by 360 upon 100 degrees, which is nothing but what? 3.6 degrees. Now unitary method, people, you need to understand the unitary method which I applied here. That for 1%, I need 3.6 degrees. This means what? If I have 24%, then it's going to be what? 3.6 into 24 degrees. So this is how much degrees or how much angle Maruti is going to take. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. Then I'm going to like keep a compass or a protector and I'm going to mark the angle here. And then I will basically get to know the angle which is required by Maruti. Alright, and similarly I can find for Fiat, for Hyundai, for Tata, for Ford and for GM as well. This is how it is done. So you do not have to remember anything. You just do not have to remember anything, any formula and anything. You just have to apply your common sense. Alright, because it's very simple here, right? 360 degree represents 100%. So 1% is going to represent 360 upon 100 and that is nothing but 3.6 degrees. Now this is nothing but this is what your common sense. So just apply common sense. You do not have to cram any sort of formula or anything. I do not feel you should. So now we basically have studied bar charts also, we have studied XY graphs also and some other stuff as well, right? So what was the necessity of dealing with pie charts? Why pie charts? What was the importance to do that? Now the thing is that a single pie diagram can represent only one continuous variable, which is true, right? Only one continuous variable is represented by one pie diagram, correct? Whereas in terms of versatility, if I talk about of your data representation, I can say that pie charts are less versatile than bar graphs or XY charts or tables. Why? Because bar charts, XY graphs and table can represent more than one continuous variable, whereas my pie chart is only representing one continuous variable. True. Now, however, why are still pie charts used when they are not that much versatile? It's because of their representation of data is clearer, and it gives an immediate idea of the relative distribution of continuous variable among different sectors. Alright. So this is the reason that the representation of the data is very clear, and the representation of data is like relatively clearer and it basically gives an immediate idea of the data which we are representing, and this is the reason why we basically use these pie charts. Correct. So yeah, this is the only thing which we need to remember here and which we need to see here. And in the term of your pie charts, I feel this is enough. We are now going to solve one question, and let's see how that question works and how we can interpret the answers and everything and all of that. And then we are done with pie charts as well. So before going to the question, let's just recap everything, whatever we did in pie charts, though it's just very small stuff. But it's just that, alright, what we were saying were that what are pie charts? It's nothing but just a representation in which we can represent data. And why it's versatile? Because we can, have an immediate idea of what we are seeing and what representation we are basically getting. Like for example, here I told you that the market share of Maruti is 24%. Alright, whereas the market share of GM is 35%. For Hyundai, it is 15%. So I can immediately see and tell that, alright, this is what my pie chart, or you can say your pie graph, whatever you want to call it, is primarily representing. And how to get the angles of, these sectors, it's very simple. Like for example, I was talking about Maruti, and I was also talking about Fiat and Hyundai and Tata and Ford and GM. Now I know these percentages. So while using this unitary method, I can simply do it. I'm going to do this one more time so that you people do not have any confusion, and then we are going to move to the question and we are going to continue it. Alright. So what I said was that 100% of anything is represented by 360 degrees, because obviously this angle is 360 degrees, right? The angle of the circle is 360 degrees. So 100% of any variable is represented by 360 degrees, correct? So 1% of that variable is going to be represented by 360 by 100 degrees, correct? Which is nothing but 3.6 degrees. So if I want to represent say 24% or 35% or 12% or 15% or 10% for Tata and 4% for Ford. Okay, I'm writing all the stuff which is in here. So what I need to do is I just have to multiply these with what? 3.6, and I'll get individual answers for the degrees or the angles which are required. Correct. And similarly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my, I'll just draw this line, this blue one which I'm marking. And then we will keep the protector or the compass or whatever, by whatever method you want to calculate the angle. Not calculate, but mark the angle, and then you can just simply do that. So this is how we deal with pie chart. So let's come to a question. So this is a question. It says subscriptions generated for India bonds. Okay. So these are what? This is basically a graph which shows the subscriptions which are generated by my India bond. So what does it represent? First of all, I want you people to take a pencil and just draw it. Okay, take a pen, pencil, whatever stuff you're having with you, and just draw it. Very simple. No fancy diagrams, nothing, because we are not in art class, we are in mathematics class. So let's do it. Here what they are saying is that for corporate house, the percentage share of corporate house in this pie chart is nothing but 34%. Similarly, for National Bank, it's 2%. For others, it's 4%. For offshore funds, it's 16%. For FII, it's 33%. And NRI, it's 11%. Okay. Now, this is the amount of information which I can interpret immediately by seeing this pie chart. Alright, so let's answer a few questions. So the first question is, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read the question, I'm going to mark the important points, and then we're going to solve it. Alright. Okay. So what is my first question? My first question says the investment by NRIs are 4,000 crore. Correct? Then the investment by corporate houses and FIIs together is what? Now by NRIs it's 4,000. By corporate houses and FIIs together is what? Now for corporate houses, if I can see, it's 34. And for FII it is what? It is 33%. So if I add them both, so 34% and 33% is going to be what? 67%. Correct. 67%. And for NRI, the amount of percentage is what? 11%. So 67% and 11%. Because we wanted to find out for corporate houses and FIIs together. So for that it is 67. and for NRIs it's 11. So if I want to find this, what should I do? Can I divide 67 by 11 into 4000? Because this is exactly what we need to calculate. Correct. So you people, I think you people are understanding this because this is oral, right? Because for NRIs it was 11, and for investment by corporate houses and FIIs together it is nothing, but it is 67. So 67 by 11 into 4000 is going to be nothing but 24363 approximately, if I say. Okay, so this is what my approximate stuff is going to come. So this should be the answer. So where is it? 24,000. This is 24,363. Yes. This approximately is going to be my answer. Question number 2. Question number 2 says, what percentage of total investment is coming from either this or this? Now, one thing always remember, when there is an or, this basically means that there has to be union. And union means addition of two. Correct? Whenever there is or, that means we have to do union, and union means addition of two. Correct? So we need to find the addition from either FIIs or NRIs. Correct? So for FIIs, if I say, for FIIs it's going to be 33% and NRIs it's going to be 11%. So I have to add the two. If I'm going to add the two, it's going to be 44%, which is this. Correct? Next question. Next question says, if the total investment other than by FII and corporate houses is this, that means if I exclude the investment by FII and by corporate houses, when I say and, that means intersection. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, but here let's see. When I say and, where is it? Yes, here. So when I say and, it is here it was 44%, I guess. Here it was 24363. Yes. So whenever I say and, it's nothing but it's intersection. It's intersection, correct? So here it is what? It's intersection. So now if the total investment other than by FII, it's not FFI, it's FII, I'm so sorry, and corporate houses is this, then the investment by NRIs and offshore funds will be approximately how much? So now the investment which is other than NRI and corporate houses is 33%. Correct? It is 33% because it's given. Just apply your brain. What is it given? It's given that the investment other than FII and corporate houses is 335,000 crore. That means the investment which is other than NRI and corporate houses is 33%, which is nothing but this itself. Correct? So I can say that your 33% is going to be equal to 335,000. Correct? Now also the investment by offshore funds and NRI is equal to 27%. See here, if I see this graph. So we were talking about what? We were talking about offshore funds. So offshore funds is this and NRIs. NRIs is this. So 16 and 11. It is nothing but 27. Correct? So for this it's going to be 27. That means what? That means by the data which is given, can I say it can be what? I'm so sorry. Yep. Can I say that it can be 27 into 335,000? Here one more zero. Here there are 3 zeros. Okay. So let me write it again. It's going to be 27 into 335,000 upon 33. Can I say this? And this is going to be approximately what? 274,100. So do we have that? Yes. Now here there is one thing which I want to tell you people. Do not copy. Like for example, what I'm doing is I'm solving and explaining to you people because I've already done it. I've already solved these questions and I know the calculations. I've done these calculations on my own and then I'm explaining all these things to you people. You people haven't done the calculation. So if I'm telling you that alright, for answer question number 3, option A is your answer, for question number 1, option B is your answer, just do not copy it. Try to do the calculations on your own. Then only you people are going to get what I am actually telling, and then only you people are going to understand the concept very, very well. Correct? So let's move forward. So in your fourth question, what they are saying is, what is the approximate ratio of investment flows into India bonds from NRIs to corporate houses? So I want the approximate ratio from NRIs to what? Corporate houses. So for NRIs it's 11, corporate house it's 34. So can I say it is 11 is to 34? Correct? Can I say it's 11 is to 34? But can you see that 34 like can be considered as 33? Can be considered. Can be. So can it be 1 is to 3? Yes, it can be 1 is to 3. Now one more thing you have to understand, that in the options both are given 1 is to 3 and 3 is to 1. If you people are not vigilant enough, then many of you are going to correct this answer. Many of you are going to take this answer. Why? Because you people do not read the questions very, very carefully. It's given that you have to find the ratio in what sense? Indian bonds from NRIs to corporate houses. That means NRIs is first and corporate, after that you have to calculate for corporate houses, and this is how you need to go on. First you need to calculate for your NRIs and then for your corporate houses. Alright, so be vigilant. The answer is B, it's not C. Okay, though 1 is to 3 and 3 is to 1, you people will think कि ठीक है अगर हमने corporate houses पहले ले ली, NRIs बाद में ले ली, but that is not what the question is. The question is NRIs to corporate houses, so you have to select option B. Correct? Moving on to next question. Next question says, in the corporate sector, approximately how many degrees should be there in the central angle? Okay, I hope you people are understanding. Now, if I want to find out the angle, I know that for corporate sector, what was the percentage? It was 34%, I feel. Correct? It was 34%. And initially when I was explaining you the theoretical part of pie charts, what did I say? I say that 1% is nothing but 3.6 degrees. So if for corporate sector it is 34%, then can I say 34% is nothing but 34 into 3.6 degrees? Common sense. This is unitary method. It's nothing, but it's unitary method. It's common sense. So if I'll multiply, it will be what? 6, 4, 12, 18. So this is what? This is nothing but 122.4 degrees. Correct? So 122.4. So I can do 122. Okay. Now question number 6. Question number 6 says, if the total investment flow from FIIs were to be doubled in the next year, let me take another pen. So the investment flow from FIIs were to be doubled in next year, and investment flows from all the other sources had remained constant at their existing levels for this year. Okay. Then what would be the proportion of FII investment in the total investment flow into the Indian bonds in the next year? I need to find that out approximately. Okay, I'm going to read the question once more so that you people understand it well. So just take your time, maybe pause the video and read the question twice, thrice, even 5 times if you want to understand it. But do not make this mistake when you are solving questions in your exam. Alright, if in your exam you feel that you have to read a question 6 to 7 times to understand it, just leave that question for that moment and move to other questions and solve that first to save your time. And in the end, if you have any, time which is left, then you can read all the questions at the end and do the work. Okay. So now, if the total investment flow from FFI is not, it's FI. I am so sorry. I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay. Let's pretend it didn't happen. So, if the total investment flow from FIIs were to be doubled in the next year, and the investment flow from all the other sources had remained constant at the existing level for this year, then what would be the proportion of FII investment in the total investment flow into India bonds in the next year approximately? Okay. Now the thing is that FII currently accounts for what out of 100? How much percentage? It was 33% as far as I remember. Okay. So it was what? It was 33% as far as I remember. For what? For FII. Alright. Now if their value is doubled and all the other investments are kept constant as it's said in the question, then their new value would be what? Now the value is doubled. So the new value has to be 66. out of 100, so it has to be 66. But here 66 is not out of 100. Okay, 33 was out of 100. Because this is double, then I also have to, because this is double but the rest of the things are constant, which means the total भी increase हुआ ना. अब देखो एक चीज है, like for example I have this brick, okay, and this brick has what 3 sections. अब मैं आपको ये कह रही हूँ कि ये सेक्शन इंक्रीज हो गया बट ये दोनों सेक्शन जो थे वो कांस्टेंट थे. दैट मीन्स द फर्स्ट सेक्शन इंक्रीज्ड इन इट्स साइज बट रेस्ट 2 कांस्टेंट थे. दैट मीन्स कि जो मेरा टोटल एंड में आएगा दैट इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीज्ड. करेक्ट. सिमिलरली दिस ऑल्सो हैपेंड इन दिस. जब FII मेरा डबल हुआ 66, whereas all the other things were what constant, तो जो मेरा टोटल है वो भी इंक्रीज होगा. तो अगर ये मेरा डबल हुआ है दैट मीन्स 33 इंक्रीज हुआ है, तो ऑब्वियसली टोटल जो है वो 100 से क्या हो गया होगा 133. करेक्ट. सो 133 अप्रोक्सीमेटली हुआ होगा. करेक्ट. सो नाउ 66 out of 133 is approximately equal to what? 50%. I can say that, right? So 50%. This is the answer. Simple. ये brick वाले जो मैंने example दिया इसको याद रखना, that if I have 3 sections, here I am giving you an example of 3 sections, but it can be 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 or 11 or 100 or anything. Okay. So अगर बाकी सारी चीज़ें constant है but एक चीज़ का जो size है वो increment हो रही है उसकी size में, then basically what is going to happen? The end product is also increasing in its size or height or width or weight or whatever dimensions you want to take into account. Alright, so 50%. Okay. Next question is, in the inflow from FIIs after the doubling of question 6 were to the tune of US dollars, that is 500 millions, what would be the total investment into India bonds next year in US dollars? In millions only I need to calculate. Okay, so basically what they are saying is that 500 millions would be approximately 50% of the total investment. Correct. So that means 1000 will be the total investment. Correct. Basically see what they are saying is, they are saying the inflow which is there from FIIs basically after doubling of in question 6. Okay, after doubling, that is in question 6 when I doubled. So the inflow of FFIs after doubling were to be what? 500 millions. Okay, after doubling it was 500 millions. Then what would be the total investment in next year? So it has to be double of that. That is what? 1000. So it is going to be 1000. Correct. So I hope you people understood this. This is basically what is there in pie charts. We started with like, okay, what are pie charts, then explaining about the sectors, about the unitary method which I told you, and then we went to a very simple question and we solved this. Okay, so these are all the answers. This is how you people solve pie charts. I hope you people understood it. I hope you people now get a few concepts which are in pie chart. The only thing which you people now have to do is you have to practice more and more, and for that you can take any book, any document, but I would prefer that you go and visit EduRev site or EduRev app. There you can go and you can actually get all the documents which you require, all the tests you require, test series and solutions and whatnot, and you can go and practice there at one place. You can watch videos, you can do other stuff as well. So just go there, just have a look on the documents. Thank you very much.